Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to unpack an ancient prayer, one that's been a lifeline for anxious, restless hearts for, get this, 3,000 years. We're doing a deep dive into Psalm 4. Let's start with the feeling we all know. You know the one. The lights are out, the whole house is quiet, but your mind is just racing. What is it that fuels that late-night anxiety, that endless loop of worries and fears that just steals your rest? Well, for literally thousands of years, people facing that exact feeling have turned to this one text. It's often called a night psalm, and it's like a battle-tested guide, written specifically to take a troubled mind from chaos to a place of real trust and peace. Okay, let's dive right in. Now, to really get the power of this prayer, you have to understand the situation it came from. I mean, this was not written on some calm, peaceful evening. No, this thing was forged in the absolute fire of a crisis. So the author, it's King David. And let me tell you, he is not just having a bad day. Not even close. He's literally on the run. He's facing this massive betrayal, and it might even be from his own son, Absalom. His life is in danger. His entire kingdom is collapsing around him. And what's interesting is that this psalm is actually a companion to Psalm 3, which was his morning prayer during the same crisis. So you can think of this as his evening debrief with God after a day of just unimaginable pressure. All right, let's actually walk through the psalm itself, and it is a remarkable journey. You've got to watch how David makes this pivot. He goes from confronting his enemies in his crisis to talking to his own heart, and then finally finding rest in God. So he kicks things off with this direct, super urgent cry for help. But notice what he's not doing. He isn't demanding a specific outcome. Instead, he's appealing to God's very character. He calls him my righteous God. And he's asking for just two things, relief and mercy. It's a posture of, total dependence, not command. Okay, so next, he totally shifts his attention to his enemies, and he calls them out for loving vanity, which basically means empty idols, worthless stuff, and for seeking falsehoods. He's pretty much asking them, how long are you going to chase after things that can't possibly deliver what you want? And right after that, he draws this incredibly sharp contrast, reminding himself and them that the godly are set apart, that they're living on a completely different foundation. And this, right here, is the turning point of the entire psalm. It's brilliant. He gives this incredibly profound advice. He says, instead of just lashing out in anger, tremble. In other words, feel the weight of what's happening, but don't let it push you into sin. Instead, go to your bed, get quiet, and commune with your own heart. Just be still. And then, he uses this very specific, very powerful word, and that word is Selah. We see it 71 times in the Psalms. Now, its exact meaning is still kind of debated, but most scholars think it's a musical or literary instruction, basically a command to pause. Just stop. Reflect on what was just said. It's like the ancient equivalent of hitting the pause button on your remote to let a really deep truth just sink in. So that's the big question, right? Where does this peace actually come from? I mean, if your life is falling apart, how in the world do you find stillness? Well, David shows us. It's not by changing his circumstances, but by radically changing his focus. He lays out this super clear pathway. It all starts with that internal stillness we just talked about. Then, he says to offer sacrifices of righteousness. And scholars are pretty much in agreement that he's not talking about animal sacrifices here. He means offering up a trusting and obedient heart. From there, he reorients his whole desire, turning it away from his problems and towards God's face, towards his presence. And the final step, it's just complete surrender, trusting so fully that he can actually lie down and go to sleep. And then David makes this really powerful comparison. He says a lot of people around him are asking, who will show us some good? Basically, they're looking for joy in corn and wine, in economic prosperity, in good times, and things going their way. But David says the gladness that God puts directly into his heart is way greater than any of that external abundance. And that is such a profound insight, right? Worldly joy is totally situational. God's joy is internal. Fast forward 1,000 years, and you've got Jesus echoing this exact same idea. He tells his disciples, the peace I give you, it's not like the peace the world gives. Think about it. The world's peace depends on everything going right. Your job is secure, your health is good, your relationships are stable. But Christ's peace is an internal reality that can be there even when everything is going wrong. It's the very same discovery David made in his darkest hour. All right, so we've kind of walked through the logic of the psalm. Now, let's just take a moment and actually use its own words as a prayer. Let's try to practice what David preached. So, wherever you are, just find a quiet space in your mind, take a deep breath, and let's let these truths really settle in our hearts. First, just let this truth anchor you. Remind yourself, you are known, you are chosen, you are secure in His care. Just for a second, let the noise of all your fears be silenced by the reality of who you are in Him. Okay, now gently shift your request. Instead of asking for the trouble to just disappear, ask for His presence to become more real to you right now, because that is the source of true joy. It's a light that no circumstance can ever extinguish. Now, just acknowledge the trade you're making. You're exchanging that fleeting happiness that comes from worldly success for the deep, lasting gladness that comes only from Him. This joy, it's a gift. It's placed directly in your heart, and it doesn't depend on what you gain or what you lose. And here it is, the final resolution, a complete release, a confident surrender. You're handing over the night watch to the only one who can truly, truly provide safety. Just rest in that promise. Okay, so let's bring all this together. How does this ancient prayer become a practical tool that you and I can use, like right now, tonight? You know, the core lesson of this psalm is so profound. Peace isn't something we get by finally eliminating all our problems. That's not how it works. True, lasting peace is something we receive when we shift our focus off of our problems and onto God's presence. It's found in surrender, not in control. That's the whole game. So as we close this out, I want to leave you with this question. As you think back on this psalm, what's the one line or idea that really stands out to you? Is it that simple command to be still? Or maybe the confidence that the Lord will hear? Or is it that final beautiful surrender of, in peace, I will lie down and sleep? Whatever it is, I want you to hold on to that phrase tonight. Let it be your anchor.